Hi, everyone. It's Cindy from Dear Mom Reads and Writes, and welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. And Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And I hope that you were able to carve out a little space, a little peace, some time for reading, community. I hope December wasn't all busy and that you had time for yourself. Anyway, so I wanted to start out today. So thought I'd sort of reintroduce myself. Sort of. I'm saying sort of a lot. Yes. Okay. I wanted to reintroduce myself. And, what's Dear Mom all about? So 5 years ago, on a whim, I don't know, I woke up one day and wrote a letter to my departed mom about my first solo Thanksgiving. It was during lockdown. And I've been writing to her ever since. So my blog or website is dearmom2ms.com. If you're interested, there's probably 50 or more letters by now. I haven't counted them, but some are funny, hopefully. Well, they're funny to me. Family stories, stuff like that. Grief. She's been gone, like I said, 20 years now. And if you live with grief, that's what we do. We live with it. So we all experience it differently, but writing to her is so cathartic to me. And I wonder all the time what she thinks about what's going on in the world, the big and small things in life. So I write to her about that. Anyway, if you're interested, take a look. And that's why Dear Mom Writes. And then I also write other things. I write essays and short stories, and I'm working on my first novel. I have the intention of finishing it this year. We'll see what happens. Anyway, and the other part, of course, reads. I also read. We're, booktube land. That's why I'm here, for community, really. It's about this wonderful booktube community. And so anyway, back to me. I write, I read, and I work at the children's library full time. And I'm in North Carolina, about north of Charlotte, the Charlotte area. So that's kind of a quick thing about me and how this kind of came about, which was only not that long ago, this channel. And if you're still hanging in there, wow, thank you. And if you're new, I just want to tell you how I appreciate all of you and any comments and questions. I so enjoy and look forward to them. So what else can I tell you about me? I'm not from North Carolina. I'm from New England. I grew up in Connecticut, lived in Maine a long time. And part of that, I don't know. I think there's part of me that's like a Yankee. I don't know. That probably comes across somehow. I've been told it does. Anyway, I'll let you be the judge of that. So here I am in North Carolina. And the title of this, how it evolved, TBRs, go kind of stop blabbing about me and to TBR or not to TBR. I am not a TBR person. I have intentions, but I don't make lists. In my work life, I have lists and to-do lists and check them off, and I'm pretty organized at work, but in my personal life, somehow that all goes away. I don't know where it goes, but it gets up every morning and goes to work. And then I don't know, I must leave it at the door when I leave because I just don't make TBR lists. I have hopes and intention, like I said, but I don't make lists, and I wish I could. In the writing world, there's sort of you're a pantser. I'm a pantser. What's the other word? Senior moment here. Anyway, one very organized, does outlines, the other kind of seat of the pants kind of a thing. So Anywho, but I so have so much admiration for people with TBR lists and who they get through, and they know how many books they read last year. I have no idea how many books I read last year. I know that I enjoyed so many, and some were, I can't say, I can't remember any that I was like, totally gave up. But it's 12 months of reading, and I really can't remember since I don't put them on my Goodreads. I think I have a still. I think I still have a Goodreads account, and I do go to Goodreads now and then and kind of look at reviews after I've read a book. So I'm not a TBR person. But I do have, like I said, intentions of what I'm going to read next. And for me now, I really can't read anything too difficult with a lot of sadness and sorrow. In America right now, things are very difficult. Pardon me, I'm burping. Oh my gosh. Hope you didn't hear it. I I need things that either make me laugh or cozy. I've never really been at a point in my life like this before, but who knows? I'm what I guess what you call a mood reader. I kind of drift from something catches my eye, like squirrel, and I'm going to read that next, and I go down a rabbit hole of whatever that is. But I do have some books that I have pulled out off my shelves or just recently purchased that I'm going to maybe read, in the next few months. I'm a slow reader. Most of my reading I do at night, and I usually can't get through too many pages at night during the work week. I don't try to make up. If it's a great book, I read a little bit more on the weekend, and Sunday mornings I sort of devote to reading. So I put the fake fireplace thing on my TV because I don't have one, and have the coffee on, and I look out the window at the birds and read for several hours. So that is such a joy, and I look forward to it every week. So anyway, without further ado, the next book I think I'm going to read, I know I'm going to read, I already started it. It is Joyride by Susan Orlean. I hope you can see that. Susan Orlean, I just love her writing from the New Yorker years. This is a memoir of her writing life. And another book she wrote that I absolutely adored, or something she wrote, was the library book. Of course, I think most of us readers here probably love bookstores and libraries, but just the beginning, I've read a few pages, is already wonderful. And so I look forward to reading this. And why I probably don't get through so many books is because I'm always reading nonfiction and fiction at the same time. I always have books of poetry on my nightstand. Yeats is a favorite. Barry's another. Anyway, this is, I set it aside to finish another book that I'll talk about next time. But so I'm going to read this next. And a couple of books I purchased, I think in December. This one, Wintering by Catherine May. I've had it for a while, and I've been waiting for winter to read it. Winter kind of quieting down, not outside as much. I do love to walk, but the sun goes down early. And so, once the sun goes down, if it's 4:00, I'm in my pajamas and it's nighttime. Sadly, that is true. Or at least I feel like that. So this is another one in my pile, Wintering by Catherine May. Another nonfiction. And it's been around a while. When was this written? Kind of picked it up and looked at it now and then, but I wanted to save it. Let's see. This was published in 2020. So I think I just spit. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind today. Anyway, wintering. The other book, oh my gosh. So Miranda Mills is someone I follow on YouTube, BookTube. She lives in England. She lives in Yorkshire. And forgive me. I love British, English literature, British literature, Irish literature. So I follow some channels over there, and she is just one of my favorites. She and her mom are just delightful people to sit and listen to and talk to each other and talk about books. And they bake together and they travel and go see like Jane Austen's house and other places in England. And it's just so wonderful. So she actually wrote a book, the Country Commonplace book. So this is another nonfiction, and it's organized by the seasons. The artwork is absolutely fabulous. And so it's her favorite poems and excerpts from books she loves. And I'm trying to find the winter. Here it is. I mean, I hope you can see this. Look at that. I mean, it's so beautiful. And I did see it at my local bookshop here where I live. And I actually I'm such a big fan. I have a signed copy of this book. So this I'm kind of reading through, and some of the, excerpts are just, I'm writing down the books to read at some other time, maybe. So the Country Commonplace book by Miranda Mills. So that's another one. Winter themes. What else? So this I just purchased through Thrift Books. Here is New York by E.B. White. You can see that. So E.B. White is absolutely one of my all-time favorite authors. I adore his writing. Writing in the New Yorker, the essays, One Man's Meat. If Charlotte's Web, of course, the children's books are just so wonderful. And this is one, I'm not sure if I read it in another collection of essays I have by him. Oh, and his collected letters are amazing. Being an epistolary fan, it's a big, thick book. E.B. White's collected letters, I think, and so charming and insightful. Delightful, it's my word today. And actually, when I lived in Maine, one of the areas I lived in, kind of Bangor, north of Bangor, I worked at the University of Maine a long time ago. So 10 years I was up in that area, and then I moved to southern Maine. So I lived not far from where his farm was in Maine. And by the time I moved there, E.B. White had passed away. But I went to his gravesite. The farm is privately owned, and you couldn't get there, but drove by and kind of hung around like a super fan. Anyway, so I look forward to this. It's a very slim book, and it's his. He loved New York. He loved the farm in Maine. But he lived in New York for a long time. He and his wife, and so. That's another one that's in my pile of possibilities. So what else do I have? This one I just received today. So again, I bought it online. I've kind of had it in my to be bought, to be purchased, TBP. I don't know. So A Road More or Less Traveled. These are madcap adventures along the Appalachian Trail. And I love travel blogs. I love hiking. I used to do a lot of it. I lived in Asheville, North Carolina for several years and hiked a lot there. But growing up in Connecticut and living up in New England for a good chunk of my life, I hiked a lot on the Appalachian Trail. And I have other collections of stories of people's experiences along the trail. And this one just looks like so much fun. There's the Bill Bryson novel. They made a movie that recently, Robert Redford, wasn't so great, but the Bill Bryson book, another senior moment, can't think of the name of it, wonderful story about his experience with his friend along the trail. But these are people they met. Yeah, I already started in the car. Well, that was just before I was going in to go grocery shopping. I started on the first page, and beautiful writing. So more on that. I look forward to reading this very much. And I don't know if you love, do you love travel books like I do? I love road trip books. I love people's experiences, describing what they see, the nature, the wherever it is. So anyway, that one, not probably not widely known, I'm guessing. What else do I have? All right, I have The Morville Hours by Catherine Swift. So this is a gardening journal. Catherine Swift, British woman, another English author. And I started this last winter, did not get through too far. It's a beautiful book. She and her husband purchased this cottage on the estate of a larger manor, and she decides or needs to or wants to kind of overhaul the old garden. And this was recommended by Miranda Mills. So I picked it up, absolutely love it, love it. Beautiful descriptions, beautiful writing. I think she is, I can't remember. I think she works at the Bodleian Library. But anyway, this is another one I will page through, read a few pages. That's what's so lovely about nonfiction is, and I know I have a whole stack of them here, but this is something I want to continue onward with. So, The Morville Hours by Catherine Swift. All right. What else? And the other, I thought I would read a Jane Austen, her, 250th birthday. I thought I would get to one in the fall, and I didn't. And I picked up this beautiful edition of Emma. I think Emma's my favorite. I don't know. They're all the 6 novels, obviously, Pride and Prejudice, of course. Persuasion. I did reread Persuasion last year, and I love Persuasion. But Emma the Wit, I think it would be, like I said, about kind of escaping the current world. So another fiction, but isn't this beautiful? It came with, let me show you. Came with this lovely cut out, like the cover, bookmark. And this is I think they did spring, summer, fall, winter with the 6 books. And this one, Emma, is summer. Let's see. This is the Seasons edition, Thomas Nelson Publishers, and it was a limited release. Anyway, it's a possibility that I will get to Emma finally sometime this year. Anyway, so these are the books that I'm contemplating reading. I'm already reading, like I said, Joyride, and I did finish the Amalfi Curse, which I will talk about. I think I finished it before January 1st by Sarah Penner, but I will talk about that in the next video. Those are the books I'm contemplating. So let me know what you're reading if you so wish. And if you're a TBR person, I'm just astounded and have so much respect. And I would love to know how many books you read. I wish I know how many. That would just, I don't know why, but it seems significant. And I would love to know what you think about TBRs, and do you make lists? Do you track things? I am going to think about doing that some more, or doing it at all. And again, I'm looking to read maybe some cozy things that enjoy nature, things that are not too closely based in the difficult times, certainly, that we're living in. So, yeah, let me know I look forward to it. And again, Happy New Year. And if you are so inclined, if you want to hit subscribe, that would be lovely. And I will see you again soon, I hope. In the meantime, please be well. All right. Bye now.